Good morning. We are starting today the counseling for course MMPF 003, which is for the management control systems. Nature and purpose of management control. Broadly, a management control system, MCS, refers to the design, installation, and operation of management planning and control systems. The term management control systems emphasizes two distinct but highly interrelated and sometimes indistinguishable subdivisions of control systems. The organization structure or relationships among the units or divisions in the organization, more specifically the responsibility centers, the relationship among responsibility centers, performance measures, and the information that flows among these responsibility centers. The process or set of activities or steps or decisions that are taken by an organization or managers to establish purposes, allocate resources, and achieve organizational purposes. At one point in time, the concept of management was captured by the catchphrase POSD CORB, indicating the role of the manager in terms of planning, P, organizing, O, staffing, S, directing, D, controlling, C, reporting, R, and budgeting, B. While this fundamental definition also sums up the essence of the nature and purpose of management control, the concept of management control has evolved from this generic approach to a more specific definition. Management control is the process by which managers influence other members of the organization to implement the organization's strategies. They further state management control involves a variety of activities. These include planning what the organization should do. Here, the work is start, planning. Then coordinating the activities of several parts of the organization, maybe finance, maybe marketing, maybe other departments. Communicating information to all those who need them. Evaluating information, whether the information is up to mark, is it latest or not. Deciding what, if any, action should be taken, and influencing people to change behavior. The concept of control can be explained by some well known metaphors. These metaphors are as follows: thermostat, we will discuss something just now. Thermostat, 98.6 human body temperature, driving system of automobile, traffic control, and black box. These five metaphors of control provide us with interesting insights into the control process. A summary of the above five metaphors of control is here in this table. Thermostat. The idea is engineering model of control. Body temperature. It is the nature's model of control or homeostasis. Driving systems. Man-machine control model. Traffic lights. Yes or no control model. And black box is input-output model. Characteristics of management control system. An organization's management control system should have the following characteristics. Management control system should be tightly integrated with a company's plans and objectives. Management control system should be tailored to the organization's structure and individual managers' decision-making responsibilities. Effective management control system should use a variety of rewards related to the fulfillment of organizational goals to encourage managers and employees to put out extra effort towards achieving these goals. Factors influencing the design of management control systems are as follows. First is enterprise size and spread. If the size is big, the more control system, more effective control system will be required. Organizational form, delegation and decentralization. If the authorities has been delegated or it has been decentralized, then it requires more and more controls, and there should be a better management control systems in such type of organization. Operational nature and divisibility, whether the work can be divided, specifically how the work is done, what is the operational nature. This is to be decided before in deciding on the real management control system. Different types of responsibilities. And who is responsible for that? What is his designation? And what is his level of hierarchy in the organization? Central people and their perception. Objectives of management control system. A sound control system is needed for the following purposes. Number one, to keep track of progress, whether the work is going on smoothly in the direction of what are the goals and objectives of the organization, to find out whether there are any variances. The following are the key forces that can cause an organization to go astray. Change. If there is change, any change in the organization, it is possible that the progress, the track of progress is going to some other direction. Delegation. More and more delegation of authority, there are more chances of the organization going variant to the organization's goal and strategies. Mistakes and complexity. The third one is to indicate that corrective action is required. Means in the three control system, the first one is you have to track the progress, whether the organization is working according to its goals and objectives. If not, what are the variances? What are the causes of variances? And then what corrective action is required for the same so that the track of progress comes to the in the right direction. To summarize, once a plan is operational, control is required to track progress, identify deviation from plans, and recommend remedial action. Types of management control systems. They are mainly of two types: formal control systems and informal control systems. Formal control systems are written, management initiated mechanism that influence the behavior of employees in achieving the organizational goals. Formal controls can be classified into three types based on the nature of management intervention. They are input controls, means within itself there are certain controls. Process controls, which are related to the work process which is being involved. And then the output controls. Informal control systems, first of all, and that is the most important one, self-control. The person Every person who is the part of the organization must have the self control, and the self control should be according to organization's objectives and goals. Then social control, which are the control by the society. Certain things are accepted by the society and certain things are not accepted by the society. The organization must work according to the controls of the society. And last one, cultural control, which is related to the culture specifically followed in that particular area, particular state, or particular country. Components of management control systems. The first one, planning, measurement, and reporting system, PMR. We have just discussed the first of all, we have to plan what should be the management control system. Then we should measure whether the control system is working according to the goals and objectives. And reporting system, if there are any variances, they must be reported immediately so that every person, concerned person, should know what are the variances, what are the causes of variances, and how can it be removed, what are the remedial measures. Hierarchy of control, strategy, what's how the management control system should be implemented, and management control system itself, then operational or task control, organization structure and control process, corporate culture means the culture of that company, the organization is part thereof, rewards and compensation. The latest trend is that we avoid penalties rather than we give rewards and compensation. Communication and integration. Foreign or ownership, control or influence. FOCI. F foreign, O ownership, C control, I influence. When a foreign interest has the power, direct or indirect, whether exercised or not, and whether or not exercisable, to direct or decide matters affecting the management or operations of a company in a way that could result in unauthorized access to classified information or adversely affect the performance of classified contracts. The company is considered to be operating under FOCI, that is, foreign ownership, control, or influence. Complex industrial dynamics, disaster, and management control system. Until now, we have only discussed a company's control system in everyday settings. A business is a collection of complex processes that function as an integrated system of information networks, which we must recognize. This network appears in several locations across the control system and has an impact on the physical process of company. A well-managed management control system identifies the flow of information across the company's physical processes. The management control system facilitates the identification of the interlocking network of information, allowing suitable decisions to be taken. Ethics and management control system. In recent times, the ethical dimension of corporate behavior and conduct has received wide attention in the field of management. Several organizations have drawn up ethical codes of conduct. However, we need to answer the following question. Why do individuals in organizations indulge in unethical conduct and unethical practices? The answer to this could be sought in the following two explanations. The overall environment in which the firm operates is one of corruption and moral decay, leading to the legitimization of unethical behavior on the part of citizens. This is a macro level problem that should be tackled by the enlightened citizens of the nation through a collective voice and collective choice. For example, if you go to any government department, for every work you have to pay something. And this is legitimization of unethical behavior. In India, we see that even the persons who are paying money, they want to pay so that the work is easily done. And this is certainly a country level problem, and that should be tackled by the enlightened citizens of nations. Even the government has got its role, whether this should be continued or not. At the organizational level, ethical future occur because norms are not properly designed. Ethical fellows are essentially control fellows. While internal auditing can check frauds and misappropriation, ethical misconduct can be checked only through properly designed norms and standards. And actually, it goes from the top to bottom. If the top management is ethical, doing ethical works, not doing any unethical conduct, misconduct is not there, certainly his subordinates will not try to do unethical conducts. Impact of internet on management control. The information revolution began with the invention of the computer and escalated in the 1990s with the introduction of the internet. The internet offers significant advantages in the following way. Ease of instant access. In this day and age, a massive amount of data may be communicated to anybody on the globe in a matter of seconds. For example, if you want to know what is the balance in your savings bank account or current account in a particular bank, with a click, you can find out what is the balance. multi-targeted communications. The internet's one-to-many reach is significantly increased. A single web entry can reach millions of people. For example, I am reaching to a number of you at the same time. No cost communication. Communicating with customers over the internet saves money on telephone operator pay. Here the person who wants to communicate may communicate directly. No assistance required and therefore no payment for the assistance. The ability to display images. Customers can view the products for sale via the internet. If you go all these sites, for example, Amazon, Flipkart, etc., you may see the product on the internet. Individualizing authority and control. Consumers are in charge and can access the internet at their leisure 24 hours a day without being interrupted or influenced excessively by sales personnel or telemarketing. Means you may yourself see what is required, what is according to your needs, and influence or interruption by the sales personnel or telemarketers may not be there. Now, the next part of today's counseling is strategies and management control. In the control of hierarchy, the focus is on strategy formulation, management control, and task control. Strategies indicate the general direction in which an organization is moving to fulfill its mission, goals, and objectives. Hence, understanding the nature of competitive strategies is very important. There are a variety of models and frameworks which help us in understanding the concept of strategy and its planning. They also help us in the formulation of strategies. Mission and objective. Goals are defined as broad statements of what the organization wants to achieve in the long run permanently. Or you may say it is permanent objective of the organization. And objectives are defined as a specific statement of ends, the achievement of which is contemplated within a specified time. For example, if the goal of the organization is maximum share in the market, say the organization wants to have 50% share in the market of a particular product. Its objectives will be what you want to achieve this year, in this quarter, or in this month. Many times, these terms are also used interchangeably. However, both are subsumed under the term mission, which is indicative of the strategic intent and strategic direction of the organization. The mission is articulated based on the vision of the founders of the chief executive. The mission is achieved through a properly formulated strategy and action plan with an appropriately inbuilt mid-course correction system. Mission, vision, and action indicate the interactive relationship between strategy and management control. In case of business organizations, an important goal is the return on investment, ROI. The concept of ROI is defined as follows. ROI is the ratio of return, means revenue minus expenditure to investment. If we give it in a form of a formula, the numerator is revenue minus expenditure and denominator is investment. And if you want to give it the form of percentage, this will be multiplied by 100. As an illustration, consider an organization with revenues of rupees 50,000, expenses of 48,000, and investment of rupees 10,000. Then revenue minus expenditure, rupees 50,000 minus rupees 48,000 is rupees 2,000. This is the numerator. And denominator is the investment, that is 10,000. So 2,000 divided by 10,000, that is 0.2. And when it is multiplied by 100, ROI is 20%. Concept of strategy. The concept of corporate strategy was initially formulated by Kenneth R. Andrews. Strategy formulation is a process that senior executives use to evaluate a company's strengths and weaknesses in the light of the opportunities and threats present in the environment and decide on strategies that would fit the company's competencies and environmental opportunities. In this concept, SWOT analysis, SWOT, S stands for strengths, W stands for weaknesses, O opportunities, and T threats. In this concept, SWOT analysis is at the heart of strategy formulation. In SWOT analysis, focus is on the company's strengths and weaknesses, and the opportunities and threats coming from the environment, competition. SWOT analysis and exercise in internal analysis, that is identifying strength and weakness. This is internal analysis, and environmental analysis, that is identifying opportunities and threats. Or you may say that SWOT analysis has got two parts, internal analysis and environmental analysis. Internal analysis relate to first two things, S and W, strength and weakness, and environmental analysis relates to last two, OT, opportunities and threats. Once this is done, appropriate strategies are formulated to achieve a fit between the organization and the environment. Thus, strategy formulation is essentially a fitting process to find an appropriate fit between organization and environment. Strategy planning. Strategic planning is a management task that is involved with an enterprise growth and future. Strategic planning can be an idea of a chain of choices and movements that bring about powerful techniques and inflict help the enterprise accomplish its increased goals. The technique and principles used to determine and govern the organizational association in its dynamic surroundings are known as strategic control. It is a method of describing techniques for supporting management in acclimating to the cutting edge business surroundings with the aid of utilizing goals and plans, strategies, and core competencies. The idea of core competence was formulated by Prahlad and Hammer in their article Core Competence of the Corporation. A core competence is what a firm excels at and what adds significant value for customers. For example, Tata's, if anything is from Tata, means it must be of best quality. From this definition of competence, it may be observed that core competence essentially means the strengths of the company. Thus, the concept of core competence draws our attention to the first factor of SWOT analysis, the strength factor. The strategy should be based on strength, is an ancient quote. Used in the context of war between two kingdoms. In competency-based strategy, we find an echo of this ancient wisdom. Means if there is war between two countries, each country excels in its own competency. The idea of core competence, when matched with the opportunities and threat, analysis provides a contour for strategic direction for the organization. Herein lays the importance and usefulness of the idea of core competence. Since different organizations possess different core competencies, each organization must identify its core competencies and build them further for matching market opportunities and overcoming market threats. Corporate level strategies. We have talked of these core competency and now we come to the corporate level. At the corporate level, the strategy issue involves the following decision. Remain a single industry firm or diversify in related businesses or diversify in unrelated business. And this corporate level strategy also related to the core competency, which we have just discussed. A single industry firm operates in one line of business, the first one. Many IT industry firms are single industry firms, for example, Infosys, TCS, etc. A related diversified firm has a business. This one, second one. A related diversified firm has business units in related business. And third one, while in an unrelated diversified context, the firm operates in very diverse businesses. Tata's and Birla's are often cited as business houses, conglomerates that have in their portfolio mix several unrelated business. The same is now the case with the Reliance also. All three types of firms can be observed in real life. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. Research has yet to conclusively prove the efficacy of one type over the other in terms of value to shareholders, or you may say value to the stakeholders. The advantage of related diversification lies in the firm's ability to transfer its core competencies from one set of business to another. In conglomerates, such flexibility is the transfer of core competencies is not easily available because the business and their core competencies are not interrelated. Complete autonomy to business is an effective way of running such businesses. In Birla organizations, such autonomy is ensured through Partha system, wherein only cash flows are monitored and complete autonomy is given for decision making to the chief executive of the respective business. Means the topmost management is only interested in monitoring the cash flows. If the cash flows are increasing, they don't bother for the how the decisions are taken by the chief executives of the respective businesses. It can't be said whether it is correct or not, because I have just told that no research has been done in this respect so far. Now, business unit strategies. While strategies are formulated at the headquarters, battles are fought on the field. This metaphor has implications for business organizations. Corporate level strategies determine the overall strategic direction of the organization, and the battle for survival and market shares take place at the level of the business units. Therefore, business unit mission and business unit strategy assume significance in the overall scheme of things. Business units of an organization have to face the competition heat in the marketplace. In the case of a single industry firm, the heat of competition is felt both at the corporate level and the business unit level. In case of diversified firms, intensity of competition heat is felt more at the business unit level. In both situations, business units must gear themselves to face the competition. In a sense, it should focus on creating a competitive advantage for itself. Strategies and management control interface. A control system is essentially a strategy implementation tool. When viewed from this perspective, strategy and control systems are coupled with each other. The information generated from the control system is useful in formulating new strategies and for mid-course correction in existing strategy. When a control system generates meaningful and useful information for thinking about new strategies, such a control system is referred to as interactive control. The information from such a control system has a learning value for the managers and the organizations as a whole. Because of strategic uncertainties, such as changes in technologies, competition, lifestyles, customer preferences, etc., the control system must throw up information relating to indicators of strategic uncertainties and indicators of troubles. Then such a control system has learning value for all the employees, leading to a proper learning environment. Such a control system also makes the organization a learning center. Thus, a strong interface between the strategy and control system makes the organization a learning organization. Radical performance, improvement, and management control. The idea of radical performance improvement has been suggested by Sumantra Ghoshal in their book Managing Radical Change. They consider managerial function as learning to cook, sweet, and sow. For achieving radical performance improvements, managers should effectively manage the sole task of improving resource productivity and the sweet task of creating and exploiting new opportunities. In a way, this approach is similar to Simon's interactive controls, wherein strategy and control systems are coupled to generate synergy. While control systems could represent the source side, strategy represents the sweet side, as it involves looking for opportunities. However, at times, the strategy could also go so. If both the control system and strategies go so, there will be catastrophic underperformance leading to sickness. In the RPI framework, means radical performance improvement framework, three stages of competitions have been identified, namely competition for dreams, competition for resources and competencies, and competition for markets. Competition for dreams involves articulating a vision for future markets, indicating corporate ambition, and providing an overall sense of purpose to the business. Competition for resources and competencies include competition for technology, quality people, brands, etc. Competition for market implies articulation of competitive strategies through industry analysis, segmentation, positioning, cost leadership, product differentiation, etc. Goal congruence. Goal congruence is the term that describes the scenario when the goals of different hobby businesses coincide. a way of assisting to obtain aim congruence among shareholders and managers is by way of the introduction of carefully designed remuneration applications for managers, which would motivate managers to make selections that have been regular with the goals of the shareholders. The business enterprise principle sees implies of agencies, which include managers as individuals, along with targets. Within a department of a commercial enterprise, there are departmental targets. If reaching those numerous targets also results in the fulfillment of the goals of enterprise as a whole, there is said to be a goal congruence. Or you may say, goal congruence is the fulfillment of goals of the enterprise as a whole, as well as fulfillment of the goals at the departmental levels. Goal congruence may be achieved, and at the same time, the employer problem may be dealt with, supplying managers with incentives which might be associated with income or proportional change, or different elements inclusive of pay or bonuses associated with the scale of income are termed profit associated pay. Rewarding managers with stocks. For example, while a non-public employer is going public and executives are invited to subscribe for stock, with inside the employer at an appealing providing charge. In a proportion, choice scheme decided on personnel are given numerous proportion options, every of which offers the right after a sure date to subscribe for stocks within inside the employer at a set charge. The price of a choice will grow if the employer is successful and its proportion charge is going up. Now the next part, designing management control system or developing MIS. Now we will discuss the various attributes of management control systems. The cybernetic paradigm of the control systems, highlighting the importance of the feedback factor, the essential aspects of management information system have been presented, and key design considerations in designing MIS have been highlighted, which we will be discussing just now. The importance of key variables or critical success factors has also been discussed. We will also discuss the 12 commandments of control design, the relevance and importance of the behavior dimension in achieving goal congruence between individual goals and organizational goals. Attributes of MIS. Control systems can be broadly classified in the following two categories: reactive control system and proactive control system. In reactive control systems, the corrective action is initiated after the happening of the event or a control failure. In proactive control system, the signals from the environment are anticipated and a control system is built to incorporate the impact of such signals for taking corrective action. Proactive control systems are similar to what Newman calls steering controls. According to Newman, in steering control, results are predicted and corrective action is taken to ensure successful completion of operation. For example, astronauts landing on the moon right on target and right on time. In proactive control systems, failure anticipation and contingency planning are the critical attributes. The strategic thinking and planning process should take care of these two important aspects of the control system. The other attributes of the control system include the performance measurement and comparison with the standards. In performance management, we need to identify the indicators of performance. The indicators could be financial as well as non-financial in nature. Performance measure system, PMS, aims at measuring the performance of a responsibility unit in consonance with organizational strategy. The concept of a balanced scorecard has been proposed as a performance measurement system. A balanced scorecard links the strategy and the performance by developing appropriate measures of performance and measures of strategic success. Thus, balanced scorecards represents the proactive control system or the steering control systems. It may also be indicated that Simons in 1995 has suggested the idea of interactive control. When a control system throws up information that is useful for identifying new strategies, there is a greater interaction between the process of strategic thinking and management control. Since in such situation, a control system becomes a strategy formulation tools, Simon refers to such control as interactive control. The concept of the balanced scorecard helps not only in seeking a linkage between the strategic measures and the performance measures, but also acts as a tool for providing information that is useful for strategic thinking and the strategic direction of the organization. Thus, it not only acts as a proactive control system, but also as an interactive control. Hence, a balanced scorecard can be viewed as a steering of the steering control system. The above discussion indicated that the essential attributes of a management control systems are as follows: proactive orientation, performance measure systems, PMS, strategy control system, linkage through interactive control, and failure in anticipation and contingency planning. Centralization versus decentralization. Centralization versus decentralization has been an important point of debate in the control system literature. It is primarily a concern of large bureaucratic and hierarchical structures, wherein decentralization becomes a necessity. Decentralization ensures freedom and autonomy in decision making, with accountability and responsibility as the prerequisite. It may be indicated that with the advent of information technology and new types of organizational structures, such as network structures, the issue of centralization versus decentralization has to some extent lost its original relevance. It is generally realized that online control systems could create greater centralization. However, as learning organizations, the organizations are discovering that information technology leads to greater decentralization because of democratic access to information and knowledge within the organization. Indeed, because of the democratization of information, centralization is giving way to decentralization in decision making and control. Cybernetic paradigm or the feedback factor. The cybernetic paradigm has its own origin in cybernetics. Cybernetics is essentially the science of communication and control. The fundamental idea in cybernetics is the concept of negative feedback, and its role is the purposive and adaptive behavior of systems. The cybernetic paradigm finds its application in various organizational contexts, particularly in designing management control systems and information systems. According to Mason, the basic correct cybernetic model commences with some norm or target being set by the decision making information system. Then action is taken under this goal. Subsequently, observations are made to measure the effect that action has on the source, and the resulting feedback is recorded in a data bank. The essential aspect of this paradigm is the feedback factor in ensuring the goal convergence of the system. In using a cybernetic paradigm for designing a control system, the following aspects should be considered. Target setting. Proper targets should be set. Past data could be useful in arriving at the standards of performance and achievement. In situations where business is entirely new, based on new ideas, target setting could be based on intuitive judgment. In a knowledge economy, where business are based on ideas and knowledge, the traditional target setting concepts may not be relevant. Achievement, performance measurement, measure the performance against the targets to assess the achievement. Identify deviations between targets and achievements, measure the degree or intensity of variation. Identifying the causes, reasons for variation, and use the feedback information from the cause effect analysis of variations to take corrective action. That's all. Namaskar.